The systematic destruction of the American way of life is taking place all around us, but the vast majority of our population has no idea what is going on. Once upon a time in America, if you worked hard and managed your spending, you could support a middle-class lifestyle for your entire family, even if you only had a high school education. As if that weren't bad enough, you probably fit into one or more of these categories, or have faced some of these issues yourself. But before you read on, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our next important videos. Here now are 10 signs that American families are being economically destroyed. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the poorest 40% of Americans now spend more than half of their income on food and housing alone, while those in the bottom 30% earn an average of $14,000 annually. The average monthly cost of housing for an American is now $1,784, or about $21,409 annually. Rental costs continue to rise across the United States, with the median wage in the country currently at $21 an hour. This means that the lowest 10% of Americans would need to spend about 55% of their income to pay for a one-bedroom rental, as they earn on average just $11.17 an hour to afford a modest one-bedroom rental. There is not a single U.S. county where a full-time minimum wage worker can afford a two-bedroom rental with today's housing market conditions, the federal minimum pay of $7.25 an hour. According to the Consumer Expenditure Survey, families in or near poverty spend 75% of their income on food, transportation, rent, utilities, and mobile phone service, leaving them with just 15% for other necessities like education, childcare, and health. Since the cost of school lunches has risen above the $3.00 threshold in numerous schools around the country over the last 2 years, at least 1.54 million pupils are unable to pay their school meals. This year, 43 school districts saw a rise in the number of children who couldn't afford meals. The national average lunch debt per child is 170.13 cents a year, and the national public school meal debt is $262 million a year. 2008's $2.41 for a pound of ground beef has risen to $4.60 in 2022. Food costs grew by 14% in the last month alone, while flour went up by 14% and milk and eggs both went up by 13%. One 11% increase in the price of fish and shellfish. There has been at least a 10% increase in the price of cereal and processed fruits and vegetables, while bakery goods have climbed by around 9%. The price of sweets increased by 8%. The price of dairy products increased by 7%. The price of infant food increased by 11%, while beef prices grew by 16%, and hog prices surged by 15%. Since March 2021, the cost of chicken has risen by 13%. In 2015, the average cost of childcare for working families was 7.2% of total family income. This year, however, the average childcare cost is about 10% of total family income, which is 40% more than the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services estimates. There has been no economic growth for most Americans for half a century, and those in the bottom half have actually seen their earnings drop when inflation is taken into account. A study done by Austin and Splinter over the last decade has found that the top 1%'s pre-tax income has increased by 157.1%, while the bottom half's income only increased by 26.9%. According to a new survey issued by anti-poverty advocacy group Oxfam America, approximately 52 million workers, or about a third of the country's labor force, earn less than $15 an hour, meaning that over 50 million Americans earned less than $31,200 last year. Some of the most hard-working people in this country, especially those who keep our economy and society running, are fighting to make ends meet and falling behind. according to Caitlin Henderson, the study's author and senior research advisor at Oxfam America. After falling to 67,521 in 2020 and then to 50 and 81,480 in 2021, the median household income in the United States saw its first significant loss since 2011, falling to a new record low of 50 and 81,480 in 2021. Have you ever seen or heard of someone going through any of the hardships listed here? These are trying times for a lot of people, and contrary to popular belief, most individuals aren't there because they want to be, but rather as a result of our country's long-term economic deterioration. When the next recession hits, we will need a lot more empathy and compassion than we have right now to deal with the widespread financial hardship that will result. The numbers we've just shared with you are alarming, but over the next few months, they're likely to get much worse. Everything in our country and in our lives is coming apart at the seams. For more such informative videos, subscribe to our channel and like the video. See you in the next video.